Alright, final video for today because my computer is slowly dying. So, this is packet 2, sorry. I started to talk about this a little bit in the last one and then realized that I was wrong and that this is what you guys probably either just picked up or you will be picking up over spring break. So, I'm going to talk about each of these things because I do believe you guys have each of these things. I just did not think about it because I was thinking packet 1 mindset, not packet 2 mindset. So if you guys look, we know this describes, this should be on the front. You're completing the entire worksheet about from heating up from top to bottom by recording your answers with complete sentences on a separate sheet of paper. Complete the graph-it on the graphing paper provided to you. You're going to compare and contrast the graph you made with the one on the sheet and record your thoughts. The seventh assignment, or second one in this packet, is climate changing, PowerPoint and note taker. That's the one I kind of talked about in the last one where it's really super duper straightforward. All you guys are going to do is use that PowerPoint and fill in the blanks of the note sheet. Super duper easy, I promise. I probably won't even talk about that one because I already talked about it a little bit. NTI assignment number 8, how's Earth's temps, reading questions and coloring sheet. So you'll read through the information. You're going to use it to answer the questions on the sheet. The coloring sheet is just a stress reliever while you study, so you guys can just chillax, okay? While you color. So, this assignment I talked a little bit about in the last one too. This is just wrapping up the stuff with the backyard monitoring. So after you picked your topic and you recorded all your information with the tool you made, and then you did an experiment about something that you were specifically curious about, this is now just you creating something new. Like I said, I will make a Google slide that has these things on here that I can publish to it, and then you guys just make sure you make a copy. And we can make sure that that gets to Ms. Stoltz. Okay? If you decide that you really want to do a poster, that's totally cool. Do the poster. You do not have to do those slides. I figure I can go ahead and set them up, and then you guys just put in your info, but you choose whatever you'd like to do. Okay? Climate change. So we have the climate change reading, and we have the climate change questions. Okay? So, how's Earth's temp? And we got a sad Earth. Climate change reading. So definitions, global warming is an increase in global surface temperatures due to natural or anthropogenic due to human activity, climate change. The greenhouse effect is the phenomenon whereby the Earth's atmosphere traps solar radiation from the sun caused by the presence of gases such as carbon dioxide, water vapor, and methane in the atmosphere that allows incoming sunlight to pass through but absorb heat radiated back from the Earth's surface. The greenhouse effect is a natural process without which life on Earth would not be possible. So greenhouse effect, we got the sun. The solar energy from the sun passes through the atmosphere. Some energy is reflected back into space. We have where Earth's surface is heated by the sun and radiates the heat back to space. Greenhouse gases in the atmosphere trap some of that heat. Okay. Enhanced greenhouse effect, the concept that the greenhouse effect has been increased by the anthropogenic emissions of greenhouse gases. This means it is the increase in greenhouse gases caused by human activity, such as the combustion of fossil fuels. So we have the greenhouse effect. The Earth is covered by a blanket of gases, which allows energy from the sun to reach the Earth's surface, where some of it is converted to heat energy. Most of the heat is radiated towards space, but some is re-radiated towards the ground by greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This is a natural effect which causes the Earth's temperature at a level necessary to support life. However, the enhanced green is human activities, particularly burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gases, agriculture, and land clearing, are generally more greenhouse gases. Greater concentrations of greenhouse gases will trap more heat and raise the Earth's surface temperature. So not as much is getting pushed out, so it's coming back. Climate change. Any change in global temperatures and weather patterns over time due to a natural variability or to human activity. What causes it? So volcanic eruptions, burning of fossil fuels, example coal, agriculture, example cows who produce methane, deforestation, we have humans' activities, we got industry, land use, agriculture, refrigeration, air conditioning, energy use. Boom, boom, boom. Thankfully, we have an energy club at our school that is trying to work on what they can there. We have a nice little picture, again, just kind of showing more specifically how stuff is being floated up, but not all of it is getting through, just like in those other diagrams. Natural reduction. The diagram above shows some sources of greenhouse gases. The diagram also shows some natural methods through which atmospheric carbon can be locked up. Trees and plankton, photosynthesis, sedimentary rocks, the shells of organisms. What can we do? We can be energy efficient, so reduce how much energy you use. We can use renewable energy resources like geothermal, wind, and hydroelectric. We can use nuclear power, does not produce greenhouse gases and produces more energy than the combustion of fossil fuels. However, the mining of uranium and dangers of nuclear safety also have negative environmental consequences. Carbon capture and storage. It is possible that in the future some of the carbon dioxide produced by power stations may be sequestered by old oil gas fields. This means that we may be able to inject carbon dioxide into geological structures and trap it there to stop it from entering the atmosphere as a method of mitigating the damage we cause by burning fossil fuels. So we got evidence and some consequences. Again, ice. Carbon dioxide is on the rise. So we have lots of graphs. Global temperatures are going up. Sea level is on the rise. This is the projected sea level and average temperature, so they're expecting things to go up. Previous periods of warning. Ice cores can be used as evidence of previous global temperature change, climate change, because they can be analyzed for their concentration of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane. So we can see about how it was thousands of years ago. Previous sea level change. There's evidence of previous global. There's evidence that this has all happened before in terms of like climate change, and how things have gone up and how it's restabilized, things like that. So raised beaches show that sea level has changed. A raised beach is an elevated area of sloping ground sitting above the present tide line. In the past, this area was at sea level. There are many examples of this throughout Britain, particularly along the west coast. This is because the area experienced the greatest weight of ice during the last ice age. Submerged forests are areas of peat beds, sometimes with ensued broken or uprooted tree stumps that are exposed in intertidal zones at low water. These are the remains of terrestrial landscapes that have become covered during periods of sea level rise. Same, we've got drowned valleys. Reduced albedo. As shown, melting ice caps and glaciers are consequences of climate change. The melting of ice caps in turn result in further warming due to an effect known as albedo. Albedo is the proportion of the sun's solar energy that is reflected by the Earth's surface. The higher the albedo, the more of the sun's solar energy a surface reflects. White surfaces, such as ice, absorb very little solar energy from the sun. Instead, they reflect it. Dark surfaces, such as oceans, absorb far more solar energy. This means that as the ice caps melt, then there is a decrease in light surfaces, ice, and an increase in dark surfaces, ocean, and so more solar energy from the sun is absorbed. This leads to a warming of the Earth's surface and thus further melting of the ice caps, in turn decreasing albedo further and leading to greater warming. So we got the sun. Surface without snow or ice absorbs more heat. Surface with snow and ice reflects heat. Climate change, these are other consequences, is also believed to cause an increase in the frequency of extreme weather events like tornadoes and drought. So again, with our reading, we should be able to just boom, 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 answer these questions. Okay? Some of them relate to the pictures, like this one. Some of them are just listed like what we did here. Some of them you will have to use the graphs. Okay? But all this information right in there. Okay? Okay, hold on. All right. We have investigating climate change. So here's the heating up article, okay, that she talked about. I just need to find the work you're supposed to do. We have where we already talked about these notes. Remember, you're just following that slide that we printed for it, and you're just filling in the blanks. This is the coloring sheet that she mentioned, that you guys can just color it, make it nice and pretty, de-stress in this crazy time period. Okay, so this is the... So again, if we go back here, heating up. Okay, so if you go back to the heating up one, which is here, you have where this is designed as a lesson, so you should read each of these things. What you are going to focus on is this worksheet, which is what you guys probably actually have. So carbon dioxide is the most significant greenhouse gas produced by human activity. For hundreds of thousands of years, the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere has stayed between 180 and 300 ppm, parts per million. A measure of how many parts of CO2 is in 1 million parts of air. Today, that number has surpassed 400 ppm and continues to rise. Scientists have established the greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere, so what does this increase in CO2 mean for temperatures on Earth? Analyze the data in the graph below to learn how CO2 levels in the atmosphere and the average global temperature have changed over time. Okay, so we have this graph. You describe the information presented. So what do you guys notice about what's happening here? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it staying the same? You know, what's the relationship between temperature, which is in the red, and the atmospheric CO2 concentration, which is in the blue? So, you know, if this is going up, is this one going up as well? What patterns or trends do you notice in this graph? So again, what's happening to these lines? What is the relationship between CO2 levels and temperature? What can you infer from this correlation? So what do we notice about these? Are they both rising at the same time? Are they both falling at the same time? Are they staying the same at the same time? And what does that mean? Does it mean that these two things are connected? That, you know, if our temperature suddenly dropped, what do we think would happen to our atmospheric concentration? Approximately what year did the concentration of CO2 first exceed 300 ppm? So we would have to kind of see where that's at. Based on the information, why is 300 ppm significant? So we'd have to go back, and what was so important about 300? You know, that's where it's kind of stayed. So when did it go over 300 ppm? Well, if we go over 300, you know, here we've got where it's 300, but we see a lot of things that are over that. So why is that significant? Okay. Then you graph it. So this is the information that you will be graphing. You'll have to set up, you'll have kind of like what they did, the 1800 years on the bottom. You can put temperature along the side, and then you could put ppm on the other side. Okay. So you're just going to set it up very similarly to this, so that way you can kind of see that connection. Okay. So again, this is the perfect model. You're just going to kind of follow what this is. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you guys have that worksheet. If not, then you guys can ignore what I just said. If you do have it, you got this. Okay. If there are more questions, I can do more. I just wanted to kind of post overviews of each of the assignments. If you guys, even after the overviews, you're still like, I have no idea what's going on, I can definitely go into more specifics as long as you tell me which worksheet you would like me to really focus on. So if everyone tells me that they really want to focus on that heating up one, I will make my computer do some fun things, and I'll show you how to graph, and I'll do it like that. But if you're also like, oh no, I got this, Miss Lily just basically read it and now I totally understand what we're doing, that's totally fine. Just let me know if there are any parts of this that you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Let me know, and I will focus on it. Okay. Don't be afraid to go to Miss Stoltz's Google Classroom. She's got a lot of really good information that you can check out on there. Like she said, she has some screencasts about the backyard monitoring, and she probably has even more resources about this other stuff. So if you need me to reach out to her, or if you're like, no, I got this, awesome. Okay. I know that we just got the news that yesterday that we are extending this to May 1st. I know that that's crazy because that's another month without you guys, and I know that breaks my heart. Please don't be afraid to reach out. I would love to see your faces more and talk to you guys. I want to try to help you guys as much as possible, as does Mr. Dempsey, Miss Artmeyer, Miss Stidham. So if there's anything we can do for you, just let us know. If there are subjects you want us to do more videos on, if there's a worksheet you want us to do a video on, we'll do it. You just got to let us know. All right. I love you guys. I miss you all. I hope you really enjoy your spring break that is coming up. I'm sure you guys have probably felt like you're in a break, even though you still have worksheets. I hope you just kind of take some time and you relax. Remember, you can turn in packets. Like if you were finishing up packet 1, you can turn in your packet all of next week. The front office door will be open. You can just drop it in the drop box, which again is basically, it looks like a trash can, but it's labeled. You can also, if you haven't already, pick up packet number 2. I know some of them might have been delivered. Some of them you guys might be getting today. But once you're done with packet number 2, again, just drop it off at the school. They'll have it open all of spring break. Okay, guys? Don't be afraid to reach out. I made a video previously about all the different ways that you can reach me. Please, please, please use all those different ways. It's down here, all the different ways to get a hold of Miss Lloyd. I would love to hear from you. Okay? So I love you guys. Please stay safe. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you're social distancing. We will get through this, and I am here for you every step of the way. All right, guys? I love you guys. I miss you. Hopefully I'll hear from you all soon. Bye, guys.